Good evening. Welcome, everybody, to a special edition, a special time, date, a Thursday night of our Friday night pro football talk show. Welcome in. It's a great start of the weekend because I got a 4-day weekend and I'm happy for that. So, and big events happening. So, I hope everybody out there is doing really, really good tonight. Yeah, I hope you're prepared for something a little bit different and interesting. Hopefully, this time we don't kill your brains with playoff possibilities. But who knows where we'll go with this thing. So let me not waste a lot of time chattering and boomering. I'm Dadman Walking 55, your host tonight. We're over on the YouTube side. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to keep growing. If you're on Twitch, make sure you follow us. So with that, let's get to the really, really important people tonight. All right. First of all, I had to bring in the guy that has become my Friday night talk show football, NFL co-host, kind of buddy to hang out with and talk all things football. It's a great clobbering times. Hey, Clobby.
Hey, man. Good to see you. Thanks for having me. And it's an honor to be here, buddy. Hello, chat. And hello out there listening on the lurkers or the rewatches.
Absolutely. We love lurkers, people that watch it on the rewatch, everything, don't we?
Absolutely, we do.
Absolutely. Sometimes it helps keep me engaged at work too, watching certain chats, especially when it's not too wild. So I like history type things too. But thanks, Clobby. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm here, man. I'm here. Good enough, I guess. You?
Doing good. I know you got a busy night tonight, so we'll have a good time tonight and have some fun. So let's bring in one of our two special guests tonight, the guy that's the master of everything barbecue, cook it. Watch your animals. He might cook them too. You never know. It's the great Mark D with a C. Howdy, Mark.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. I will not cook any. Don't worry. You don't have to hide your pets. Not that kind of cook.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. He's the master of the grill, and
yeah. Pets, animals you can get in store and in the grocery store. We'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Ribs
and we can just. Ribs and all
and
kinds
the full
of good
pig,
stuff.
Mark. I would love to see you cook
full
that full
pig.
One time.
Oh, that's perfect for football, right? You cook a full pig, right? So what's that all about tailgating or bacon wrapped meatballs, right? So those are two.
Wrap everything in bacon,
Yeah.
So let me just. Go ahead.
Say we can just end the show tonight. The Giants are going to win the Super Bowl, knock out Tom Brady again, and that's it. Yep.
Wow.
Just kidding. Well, that's not happening.
For that.
But if they knocked out Tom Brady, Mike might not mind so much, right?
No, I wouldn't mind. No, I'll be rooting for the Giants. I rooted for the Giants both those two times that they beat them before.
Yeah, right.
I was a Cowboys fan that didn't. I hated rooting for the Giants, but I had to. There's no way I was going to go for New England. But with that being said, talking about New England, I'm going to bring in a very special guest who's on his third American football show this year. Not one, not two, but third American football show with me this year, even though his idea of football is something where you kick a round ball with your feet and run up down the field to score nothing. But he's got a story to share with you who haven't heard it. The great Esh Singh. Howdy, buddy.
Yay. How's it going, guys? Patriots, let's go.
I did forget lock up your small pets because Esh will come collect them.
Yes. I will eat all the pets that Mark refuses to cook. So if you don't want your pets eaten, you better hide them away.
It's a fair cop.
So Esh, how are you doing these days?
Oh, doing good. It's the end of my Christmas break. I'm going back to university next week. Get back stuck in with studies. But enjoying the last weekend, and let's do this.
It's just such a long break. I mean, it's halfway through January.
Oh yeah.
I mean, our breaks were not ever that long. But...
Well, it just depends on the course because I'm on my engineering course. It's just 2 semesters, 2 3-month semesters. But my brother, he's doing acting. He's got like 3 semesters, and he's at university till May.
You're saying it's tougher to become an actor than an engineer?
Well, I'm just going off timetabling. I guess
just
each
being
subject.
A wise guy there. Yeah.
Well, I guess each subject has their own technicalities, but one is pretending and one is learning how things work. So I guess each to their own. But yeah.
So good to have you though with us, Ash, tonight. Because I
Yeah.
know for a while,
Glad to be here.
well, for a while I'd been talking about, I think, with you and actually, about getting you on a football show with Clobby and Mark, and we made it happen.
Absolutely.
And hope tonight, Ash, what we'll do also is we'll kind of, you and I had some discussions about what the Super Bowl is and, versus the college playoff and all. We're going to break that out for you a little bit too.
Awesome.
All right. So let me do this real quick though. We've said hello to everybody. Let me go through the chat and say hi to people because the chat has flown down a little bit. So as always, great hello to the bear himself, the Snortopoopas Q Burr. Hello, humans and other critters. Always great to see you, Snortopoopas. Yes.
6. Look at 6 here.
Oh, wow.
Hey, okay. 6.
We're sportsing.
Okay. Wow.
Love you, 6.
Hey, I guess Snortopoopas was waiting on us like a seal to pop its head out of the ice. So, and everybody, I got a big announcement near at the end, but the gracious, the beautiful, the lovely, the person I could not do any of this without, the great Mrs. Dadman Walking 55. Howdy, my love. Hello to the real Wade Nation. Wade, how are you tonight? Good to see you. Go through here. Wow. Jess, hello, Jess, SBD girl. Hey, good to see you tonight. Jess is my dealer on all the unicorn ice cream and other type of pictures. So, we got Mark here, of course. Mark, you're here.
Yep. Hi to everyone. Yep.
Jess said that the Bears out. The fact the Packers got kept out is as good as it can be. And
yeah, that was crazy.
Ash, there's a go Patriots. I'm trying to get down. Stuart Mitchell, welcome.
Patriots are eliminated. What do you mean go Patriots?
Yeah, sorry, you can't bet on the Patriots now. Yeah.
Well, welcome to you, Stuart Mitchell, and hello, 6. Good to see you here.
Hey, 6.
All right. I'm a little slow with this chat thing because and then 6 says hello to you guys.
6 is a Bears fan too. Well, at least you got the first pick in the draft, right? So, and you don't need a quarterback.
They got the number 1 pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait. I thought they had their quarterback from the University of Georgia.
They don't need a quarterback, so they can trade that first pick up, go back a little bit. Well, someone's going to want it, and they can get another big player because the Bears have got a quarterback.
Well,
now, I'm not sure, but
I'm just not sure Justin Fields is going to be an NFL quarterback. But what do I know?
I mean, right? Yeah, but they're not. They're taking such a shot on him. They're not going to go draft another one after getting him.
Yeah,
they're going to give him a shot, and he's good. But he's one of these run first quarterbacks, and you don't want to hear me get me started on those run first quarterbacks. But
he is. Clobby, you enlightened us last week on that, so
he is very talented, though.
We'll see. We even have another Bear fan here too.
Well, the good thing with having that number 1 pick again, you could, like Clobby saying, you could trade down and get 2 really high
down and get some good stuff.
Hit more than 1 player. Yeah.
Depends on who's coming out of this worthy damn at quarterback this year.
Yeah.
Well, the top 3 that I've heard talked about is the guy from Alabama,
Bryant Young.
Young. JT Strout, the guy from Ohio State.
Yeah.
The third one was Will Levis from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watched him play this year, you're like shaking your head how you could be I don't know some of these Clobby, remember last week we talked a little bit about the Hall of not the Hall of Fame, but the Hall of Good.
Yeah, I call it. It's now should be called the Hall of Average or the Hall of Average. Not average. Not average. The Hall of Very Good.
That's kind of what I'm thinking with this quarterback classing and these idiot and some of the I did call them idiots. These draft analysts and stuff, because one of them had the Florida quarterback Anthony Richardson, like the 4th or 5th rated top draft quarterback for this draft. And I had to watch for 2 years, and I'm just like shaking my head like, I think he left school because he knew he'd better go now, but it just was, I don't know.
You got to get out when, it's not going to be a big quarterback draft class, it looks like. No. And so since the Bears have at least the one they want to stick with for a while, they probably will trade back and,
for needs, whether you need line, offense, defense, or whatever else. Yeah.
Drafting needs.
I'm looking at some of the draft projections saying Will Anderson Jr. might go number 1. Could that be possible, or as a linebacker? I mean, it's always a great pick if you can get
for a linebacker to go
number 1. I mean,
great. But it's
not even LT didn't go number 1, but
No.
I mean, I think
they almost never do.
But the Bears are, in that kind of position. If you're already happy with your quarterback, then you go. You go a couple of good defensive players. They're keeping him. Right?
Now the Texans on number 2, they need a quarterback. So well, anyway, that's
we'll probably get go for Stroud. Yeah.
Playoffs now, though.
Yeah.
Playoffs. Playoffs.
Where did the playoffs?
That's one of my the greatest rants ever. Jim Mora. I miss Jim Mora.
Oh, I know. I remember that. That was such a crazy.
He had a lot of great rants when he was with us, but that was the one who was with the Colts. But still, when he was here with the Saints, Jim Mora is the most legendary of the ranting coaches.
I can believe that. I can definitely believe that.
Playoffs.
Well,
that's why people say that now when they say playoffs, because of that one soundbite in 1989 or whatever, 98. People forever when they don't just say playoffs anymore because of the playoffs. Playoffs. Don't talk about playoffs. I just thought we could win a game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, I remember that quote. I can see there was also a basketball player that did it about the coaching was playoffs. We're talking our practice. We're talking practice.
Yeah, that was that. Oh God,
Iverson. Yeah. It's so funny when people inflect, but when they inflect it just right, it can be priceless and live on forever. So, and for Ash and for any new people, what they're talking about with the draft is that basically the college players in their eligibility, and then they go in a big pool, and then based on how bad you are, you go first down to the best, and then you
worst record drafts first.
Yeah. You basically choose new players to reload your roster.
Right.
That's kind of how they're doing. So,
and Mr. Irrelevant is about to is leading a team into the playoffs. That's weird.
The San Francisco, right?
Yeah, Brock Purdy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Ash, if you have any questions, make sure you shout out, okay?
Will do.
So, all right. Well, let's see. What I want to start off with is for everything that we've got going here, one of the things to remember, we're just friends here shooting the bull, having some fun. You may see some numbers, you may see certain things, but one thing, and we may pick winners, but the main thing that we don't do here is we're not a gambling site. So we're not professional gamblers. We don't all that stuff. And just everything we do here is for entertainment purposes only.
We're not Bernie Kosar.
No, oh my God. I think I saw something about that
you
story.
Hear what happened to him, right?
What happened?
Go ahead.
He bet on football and the Browns dropped him.
Yeah.
Even though I guess technically it was legal, but he was, he's Mr.
I never
Browns.
heard of him I never heard of Kosar having a betting thing.
No,
I was a
like
Kosar fan.
Yeah, he bet like 20 grand. No, just last week he bet 20 grand on a game or recently.
Oh, just recently. I was thinking, oh man, what did I miss
no,
that?
No,
but
sorry. Yeah,
he's not on the team anymore.
No, but I guess he was involved with the team somehow.
Yeah.
And,
oh man, I used to love Bernie
he was
Kosar.
He was on a radio show. He said I don't know if he bet on the Browns to win or it doesn't matter, but he bet on football, which is totally illegal now. I guess legal everywhere, right? And the Browns, I guess if you represent an organization, you can't bet. So,
oh man, that's my boy Bernie. I love Bernie.
Yeah, I know it's crazy, right? I mean, he's Mr. Brown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, but it comes in the thing. You start flirting with gambling, and you start making it legal, and everything else. Then, I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, it's. How do you tell people, grown adults, no to do something if it's legal? I mean, I guess if it's clearly against your contract, they can do it.
Yeah, it's not like he's Pete Rose or anything.
Yeah, it's not like he's out there betting on or against his team and things like that. So,
but crazy, man.
It was an interesting story.
Well, allegedly, Pete Rose bet for his team to win. I don't know if that was true or not, or he should have been betting on the sport.
He was in the league.
Yeah, he was in the league too, but he should have. Hey, yeah, but a lot
Yeah.
of people kind of try to excuse it. Say, well, he bet on his team to win at least.
And Mark, the link you just put, is that
The
the
Jim Moore. The
That's
Jim
a
Moore
story
link.
about that's a story about the playoffs. Yeah, and there's
the Jim Moore rant.
video. Yeah, the Jim Moore rant. I guess. Yeah,
Dude, there were times when we would have like a really garbage year, and we would lose like a few games in a row. And finally, I would get so pissed off after a game, I would go watch Jim Moore rants on YouTube because he had. But it's not that's his most famous, but he had some very famous ones for the Saints years before that. Like he's like the one where he goes, "Well, we stunk out there. We sucked. We were it was a horse deep performance, horse bleep. We couldn't make a pass. We couldn't complete a pass. We couldn't make a first down. We didn't try to run the ball. It sucked. We stunk. We were garbage. It was a horse. I mean, some of the best rants ever, man. That's just one of many."
Ash, I know more rugby, soccer over there. Do they have the coaches go crazy in press conferences?
Oh yeah. I guess I'd say I've seen a couple people go off in boxing more, the players than so much the commentators. But yeah, I mean, if it's a sport, if there's some competition, there's always someone bound to blow a gasket.
Yeah, good. It wouldn't be a sport without a coach bitching and yelling at the press.
Hi, Castle. Oh,
I guess. Yeah,
welcome.
because more at the. I know we're gonna get to the playoffs again, but Moore was, 24 years in pro football. It's in the article. 15 as a head coach. He never won a playoff game. So
Never won a
after,
playoff game.
yeah, but he did do pretty well with the Saints. They said his first
Well,
coach
he
in
gave
history
us
the
our
Saints
first
to finish
winning
with a
season.
winning record.
Yep.
Right.
We was here 10 years. We loved him. You know, he won championships of the USFL before that.
Oh, he did.
Two of
Okay,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they got they got Tony Dungy came in 2001, and that's when Peyton Manning had that run after.
But Moore put together a lot of that team.
Yeah,
Remember when he brought Peyton Manning, and he
got
did.
Peyton Manning in here.
He brought. I mean, he kind of unfortunately got rid of Marshall Faulk, but he got Edger James, and he put together a lot of that team.
Yeah, because the Saints, like we talked last week, the Saints were like 30 years in the dumpster. Horrible.
Oh, yeah, he gave us our first winning season.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, because I mean,
in '87,
it was so bad. It was the first winning season, and
I couldn't believe. I was just man. I can't even describe the emotions.
Absolutely. And see, that's what we said earlier about, that's the stuff that still draws us back and has some interest in something that, we because of different things pull away from in recent years, but you have all these memories that go back, and, there's still a love for a game and the memories like that always, you can't always put it away,
Yeah.
Like me as a Cowboy fan,
Well, sure.
Every year there's a promise. Every year there's a potential, right?
Hey, they look good this year.
You look good this year. You're in now.
Well, I don't.
Tom Brady.
Talk about not sure about quarterbacks. Here's one for you. Did I do as you taught me, Tony? Yes, Dak. That is how you lose a playoff game.
Oh, poor Tony. Poor old Tony Romo. That was a bad mistake he made on that against the Seahawks in that playoff game with the kick. But
yeah.
It was a team loss, man.
No, I know. Being a Cowboy fan, though, I gotta laugh at it.
I used to rag on Tony Romo so much to my Cowboy friends. Oh God, I was.
Yeah.
And what was the other really big time Cowboy screw up in the playoffs when it was off the extra point, and then the guy it was muffed? What was that?
It wasn't an extra point, but it was a Thanksgiving Day game with in the snow with the buzz. Leon Lett.
Oh yeah.
Who hit the football and then it gave the Dolphins another shot at the kick because he hit the ball when he shouldn't have. And that's that classic call from announcers. Leon Lett. Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, I will tell you, I'm thankful for Leon. I'm thankful for Leon Lett because in theory, I did something once on my first job and participated in something in theory. And when he in the Super Bowl against Buffalo,
that was hilarious.
I had a couple of numbers that were right in theory.
Oh, you had the pool, huh?
When he got run down from behind and stripped and the ball went out of the end zone.
Yeah, by Don Beebe.
I theoretically won at least $100. So
Don Beebe. That was one of the greatest plays in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Never give up. Yep.
Never
Yep.
give up. It was they'd already blown out of that game, but
Yeah.
that was the year before he did that, and he was well known for missing that touchdown because he was
Yep.
celebrating too soon. And then
Yep.
the next year in that Thanksgiving game in the
Yep.
snow in Dallas with the snow against Miami, and he touched the ball. He messed that game up too. They're going, "Oh, Leon, not again."
Yeah.
'Cause was it a block field goal or something? Or
Field goal. Yeah, the field goal.
What was the reason
It
behind
got
that?
blocked, and
Mhm.
your defense can't touch the ball after that, or it becomes a live ball.
Right.
So,
Yeah. You can
and
block
he
it,
touched
but it's
like an idiot, and then the ball and
Then
the Dolphins recovered it, and then they gave
Yep.
them the ball over again.
Yep.
oh, so once it's
downs.
blocked, you just let it go, right?
Right.
What
Yeah.
happened was, what happened was you got to let it go. But since he touched the ball, it made it a totally live new set of downs ball, and then when the Dolphins recovered it, it was first down again.
Yep.
Oh, because it's because that
He
is
did it.
kind of confusing
Because
though,
he
as much as
touched
you make.
it. He's
Yep.
supposed
As
to
much
know
as-
that.
Yeah, but
If you're on special teams, you're supposed to know that.
I
Yeah.
guess,
Exactly. But
Oh,
hey,
because it bounced. He didn't recover it though, too, right? So it bounced.
no,
hit
he
it. He
slid into
You're
it. He
supposed to stay away from it.
it made no.
Yeah.
What
He
it
said,
was
"Get
like
away from it."
somebody sliding into third base is what happened. He instead of just staying away or jumping on it, it's like he slid.
He went
like
after it
going into
like an
third
idiot.
base.
He thought he was recovering a fumble.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
It's like me trying to turn down a bowl of ice cream if it's on the counter sitting there when I know I'm not supposed to touch it, right?
Right. Exactly.
So-
I guess
It's like-
Maybe I don't know if it's.
But
like that
what
at all.
if he had fallen on the ball and held it though? Then the Cowboys would have gotten the ball
yeah,
back.
That would have been
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Would have been fine, right? It was the fumble after so it was a combination of the two. Don't touch
But-
it. Yeah,
If he touches it, it makes the ball alive.
Yeah.
makes the
Absolutely.
ball live. Yeah.
Well, Ash,
Let's.
my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
Now's your time to chat because I know Clobby and Mark would love to hear the story. Tell us about the Patriot connection and
Oh, that story. Yeah.
how you got into American football or your experience
Oh.
with it.
Well, I mean, there's not much to say. The Patriots are just the best team in the entire league. No,
True. Well, they were.
so the whole reason like I support the Patriots is because on a high school trip to the US, we spent 5 days in Boston, and we're in partnership with a US high school in Boston, and I went to their high school game, and that's kind of sort of where I first learned about American football, like different parts of the game and just watching a game for the first time. So I kind of chose Patriots as my team because of that. And also, I mean, it's New England Patriots. I'm from original England, so there's that connection there.
That works.
Not bad.
So, yeah.
Good reasoning.
Yeah. There you go. That makes sense, though. Absolutely. Because look, thing is, Ish, usually, I'm always fascinated when I meet fans from other cities and stuff. So I would always like if I bump into somebody somewhere and they're wearing an Oakland Raiders or a New England Patriots or whatever, like another team, I'll go, "Oh, so are you from, are you from there?" And sometimes, yeah, yeah, that's our team. Other times, oh no, I've never even been there. And I said, "Why are you wearing that?" "Oh, I just like them." And so it's like, they don't. I mean, a lot of times they don't have any particular reason. They just, for example, they're born in an NFL city, but they're a team of a completely different team from another city. Now, I've always been like, you should be a fan of the home team, but if you don't have one, and we do, but if you don't, I can see like you just develop but you love the game, right? So because you're seeing it on television, and you just latch on, and the teams that usually get latched onto are the bigger market teams, like the Cowboys got called the America's team in the 70s. That stuck. And a lot of people from all over the country who didn't really have a team became a big fan of the Cowboys. They latched on to the Raiders or the 49ers, the popular, successful teams. And the Patriots had nothing like that until Tom Brady and Belichick came along in 2001. And then when they started winning Super Bowls, a lot of people from not only all over the world, but even in the country where there were other teams, just became fans just because, even though they weren't necessarily their home team. So I'm always fascinated how people get into whatever team they're into,
Yeah, I know there's a lot of fans, like even with regular football over here. There's, I don't know if you have this time over there, but we call them glory supporters. That people only support the teams that win.
Exactly. Fair weather fans,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah, and we call them glory supporters.
Good call.
But like with like, in like football over here, I don't even support the football team of the city I'm in. Like I have mates like, oh Ash, why didn't you support this team? It's our city, and I'm like, because this is why I support them. Because I mean, if I had to support a team, it'd probably be Liverpool, only because I grew up with cousins and family members and brothers and sisters that supported Liverpool. So I just got sort of drawn in to that. But in sports, I'm not too much of a sports person anyway. But if I was to watch sports, and I'd say if I had to pick a team, I'd be like, Liverpool's my team, Patriots is my team. I've yet to pick a basketball team or a hockey team or a baseball team. I mean, baseball, Red Sox. Like,
Sure.
again, the whole Boston thing, and it's cool to see Fenway Stadium because like in Massachusetts, there's like one of the tallest buildings in Boston. There's like the observation floor at the top, and like you could see Fenway Stadium from it. And I had like one of those DSLR cameras with the lens, and you zoomed in, you could see the entire baseball pitch. I was like, yes, I like this. This is gonna be my baseball team.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to go into the other sports too.
Yes.
That was really cool. I'm glad
That is cool.
everybody's getting here.
It always,
I mean-
like I say, it always interests me to find out why people are fans and stuff. Go ahead, Ash. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say like if we're into like if we go down the route of like motorsport and that like in like Formula One, I don't watch too much Formula One, but I do like Le Mans, which is the 24-hour endurance race. So I do like watching that every now and then when it's on. And also like where I used to work, they had the shell of an LMP1 car just in the lobby. So every time I walked into work, I was like, "Oh, there's the shell of a Le Mans car. Nice."
Nice. Oh yeah.
Oh,
So Castle saying, I guess he's saying to Ash, could you interest you in Tampa Bay Lightning for hockey?
I don't even follow Tampa Bay, and I'm in Florida.
Actually, Martin San Luis, I got to meet him last year. He's a great guy. He was a huge star on Tampa Bay for years. Then he came to play for the Rangers and had that great run, that great playoff run. But yeah, but it's funny how people find, for football, like my dad was a Ferner, as I like to joke, and didn't care about any American sports. But more like Ash, like, what's this football thing? You're supposed to kick it with your feet. So I was like kind of wide open for the sports teams I would pick. So of course I became a Cowboys fan in the 70s because either it was the Cowboys or Steelers, right? Unless you had, family, like Ash was saying, you had family that help you, indoctrinate you to a team. So with the Cowboys always on TV, and then there was also like all the merch too was all Cowboys or Steelers merch basically. So, and then I ended up liking the Giants later when I started watching, and my cousins were in the football. You can't like the Cowboys.
I'm still shocked how you go from Cowboys to New York Giants.
I understand it. Yeah.
But like
where you live.
Seeing Jess saying there that Chicago fans, it's a generational thing with her raised and trained to be a Bears fan. That's how serious,
Well, yeah.
Yeah, or people latch on to players like two of my brother-in-laws are Dolphins fans, and they both love Dan Marino as much younger, and to this day they're massive Dolphins fans. So I think like Mike, you were saying about all the fans that like your LSU quarterback who's with the Bengals now. So it's a lot of fans down your way. Or
Joe Burrow's
for Joe Burrow.
He did something I've never seen anybody ever do. And I've told you about it, my dad, man, where Joe Burrow, of course, the LSU down here, well, I'm a pro guy, so I love the Saints the most, but everyone down here loves the LSU Tigers. I mean, it's down in the Gulf. It's just huge. It's gigantic down in Louisiana, southern Louisiana, and a lot of the coast. Well, Joe Burrow, of course, had that unbelievably magical, 2019 season. After he's from Ohio, and he moved. He played for Ohio State a couple of years, and then didn't get to play much. Plays 2 years here, and he captures the imagination so much with that 15-0 season that when he gets picked by the Bengals 2 years ago, whatever it was, we started. They sell a lot of Bengals stuff down here because Baton Rouge and Louisiana loves them so much. The local games here, where LSU is here in Baton Rouge, they now air all the Bengals games. And usually, like, for example, it's kind of potluck. Other than the Saints, that's the only one that's the local. And they don't go out of their way to get any of it. Just whatever happens, the network decides to put on whichever. But no, they actually put them on. They air all the Bengals games because of one guy. And I'm telling you, I've looked into this. This has never happened. I mean, never. And so this just region of the country, and I hate the Bengals. Oh God, they ripped us off. Who dat? We say who dat. They say that stupid who day stuff. Sorry, they ripped it off from us. I hate them, and I can't stand them. But I like Joe Burrow. Hope he does well. But now down here, he's got a big fan following. When the Bengals came down here and played, now some of my friends who were Saints fans were pretty upset that a lot of people. I think it was this year they came down here in the dome, and there were people wearing. Some of them were just wearing their LSU Burrow jerseys, right? But there were some of them who were supposed to be Saints fans that were wearing Burrow Bengals jerseys, and man, was it! I wasn't there, of course, because I don't go to.
That could be some fighting. That I mean, in some places.
And my nephews, some of them, they were not happy. They were.
No, because I think Philadelphia has a stadium with a gel in it.
Well, they used to when when they used to have Veterans Stadium, they had a place where they booed Santa Claus famously in the 60s.
Yeah. But
it did have a jail though, yeah, it did.
But so it's like teams travel. It's like you're saying, the Steelers, the Cowboys. When the Jaguars had the Cowboys here recently, it was basically a Cowboys home game. Because people weren't going.
They travel.
Cowboys fans bought the tickets and traveled. Patriot fans would do the same thing.
Steelers fans do it.
What was interesting though was last week though, the team actually really sold standing room only tickets, and it was really a true Jaguar home game.
Good. I'm glad. I think they're going to win this week.
But that's a struggle with those small market teams when the big teams like the Bear. You got them. The Bears, even though the Bears are bad, the fans travel. The Cowboys, it just it is kind of, a thing that the teams do struggle with. And back to Jess said, I was a toddler. I didn't understand anything. I wanted to watch my uncles where I had to cheer for the correct colors or get kicked out. Yep.
I can relate. Exactly. How that goes.
See, I'm much more tolerant. Both
home
my kids.
Team.
I'm so liberal tolerant now because both my kids have become dog fans. I'm like, how does that happen?
Who are the dogs?
How can
the Georgia Bulldogs?
Oh, there you go.
Big rivals with the Florida Gators.
People like Ash and me, right?
Dogs.
Yeah, I'm
the champs.
I'm in New England. I don't follow college sports that highly.
Y'all got UConn in Syracuse.
We got UConn now. Yeah,
the SEC is the only. That's because the SEC is the only legitimate league down here now.
Oh yeah.
Let's just be honest.
That was something of a game the other night.
Well, that game, at least the playoff game, the final was close, at least, right? Have we got a chance? It's 1 in a million.
5-7.
That was so funny that those two playoff games were so close, so dramatic for the championship to be a one-sided runaway. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But
the coach for
final,
TCU at the halftime, he's walking up the field. He's shell shocked. He's like, "Well, we kind of got to get going in the second half." I'm like, "You had a whole first half. It ain't gonna happen."
38-7, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Did you see that? Did you guys see that interview?
Yeah, and it ended up at 65-7.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, wow, you ready to hang in there, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's look at the playoff format. To help Ash,
go for it.
And Ash, we talked about that before about the format. It's not really. It's a bracketed type of a tournament leading to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because you had some questions. I'm going to bring this up, and this is really how it's formatted here. What you are the two conferences: the American Football Conference, the National Football Conference. And you see that in the first round, let's go across the top. The first is the wild card weekend.
Funny how there's only one bye now. With this new system, by the way, it's notable that there's only one bye. It used to be two byes. The top three is the only one with a bye now.
And they only had, and I
Wow.
think they only
That's
had
'cause
6. They added a 7th also.
They
That's why
added
they could
another
have 2
team, so
buys.
that's why they're doing that. Yeah.
Is there
Well,
another week, or do we have another week of playoffs? Or is it?
No, it's still
No, not
you
no.
have the
Still the same
you
amount
have
of
the
weeks.
wild card weekend, which is this weekend. Next weekend will be the divisional playoffs, followed by the
Divisional,
conference
then
championship the following week.
So it's the same.
Ultimately
as
leading
before.
to the Super
Just
Bowl.
more teams.
But because they added another team, you've got one team. Only one team gets only the first seed gets a bye now. What used to be
Wow.
seeds 1 and 2 got a bye.
Yeah.
Yep. So does it, Ash? I know you had asked questions. Does this help graphically show you a little more sense of how it makes?
Yeah.
And then you
And no
just
New
move down.
England on there, Ash. Unfortunately, sorry.
Oh man.
No New England or Old England or any England.
You know, for the first time in like 20 years. I mean, Jesus, what do you want?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think they only missed one time in the past 20 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And this is Belichick's first losing season. And he was like still a sniff away from the playoffs, even in that. So
Right.
Yeah, they were close. You notice one other thing, Clobby, that's changed. They put the quote Pro Bowl weekend between the
there's
champion,
no
the
such thing
conference
as a Pro
championship
Bowl anymore.
and the Super Bowl. I agree.
It's flag
heard-
football.
I heard something about flag football. They're
It's
going
flag
to do
football. That's right.
It's
Why
powder
even
puff
bother?
football. Well, because
You
there was
know,
no
you-
bother. You couldn't bother before. I mean, the guys didn't play before anyway, so they might as well just call it.
I used to like it when it was in Hawaii after the Super Bowl, but
Exactly. I
Maybe they
look
could play
forward to that.
badminton instead. I think, or pickleball. That'd be kind of fun. Or do like a battle of the network stars. Do like a battle of the NFL stars.
hey,
Yeah.
it may as well have been flag football anyway. They don't hit each other.
Well, really, Mark, that's kind of what it's become in recent years is something like that because they're
Right.
doing more like touch events or skill events and things like that. But like
Yeah.
Clobby and I were talking about a few weeks ago was that anytime you have any of these events, no matter what, you still risk the players getting injured for just things that don't even matter.
Oh yeah.
The greatest case was Robert Edwards, a running back for the Patriots that blew his knee out playing sand
playing around
volleyball.
the volleyball.
What was he playing?
He was a Patriots running back. Volleyball, was it?
Sand. It was sand volleyball, not just
Yeah.
volleyball, but that
But
sand.
beach volleyball.
Yeah,
For
beach
what?
volleyball,
For a TV thing or just for fun?
it was in the Pro
Pro
Bowl
Bowl.
weekend.
Oh, Pro Bowl week. Okay, yeah,
In
yeah.
Hawaii, when they used to do it in Hawaii.
Well, you remember the battle? I was joking, but the battle on the network stars, where they had all the TV people, all these obstacle courses and races. I mean, they would never do that today because of the salaries they get. Or, of course,
Yep.
it's not as critical if you get hurt in that. But I think and then didn't they do it with some pro players too? In that they always had the teams lined up. I don't know, but it was the battle on the network stars. Didn't they do something with sports? People,
I think they
stars
did.
too.
They probably did. They did soap operas, TV stars, everything else that's out there. So
there were like races and obstacle courses and things. So
yeah,
but if you get hurt now, it's there's too much money. Back in the day when football players had to work in the off season to supplement their salary, you were expendable, unfortunately.
absolutely.
So, yeah. I'm just glad it's here now, Dad, man. Because see, this is math. I understand every bit of it. Last week, I'm like, wanting to kill myself. Every single thing I see here, I can tell you what's going on now. But last week,
yeah, exactly. Last week it was like,
oh my God, I couldn't listen to it. It was.
I thought all Clobby's followers were going to have to hunt me down and hurt me because
the scenarios.
Yeah, who's going to get into what? Yeah,
the mathematical scenarios for the who can get in what.
This week we at least have it simplified. We have 7 seeds, as Clobby had mentioned. The top seeds in each conference have a bye week, so the seeds 2 through 7 go. 2 plays 7, which is Buffalo, Miami. The best top seed plays the lowest seed. Works down 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. Your 4 division champions are your home teams in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. This week, Kansas City has a bye, but see, Jacksonville, Cincinnati, Buffalo are division winners. So is Tampa Bay, even though they have a losing record and Dallas has a 12-4 or 12-5 record, Tampa Bay still hosts the game because they're a division winner. Minnesota and San Francisco are your other home teams and division winners. So that's how it works. That's how it's structured. So let's start now. I'm going to move over.
Quick question: did Buffalo kind of get Scrooged over the tragedy that happened, and thankfully number 3 is back and out of the hospital.
No, Mark.
Did
what
it end
happened?
up not mattering, or
Hold on. Let me go back.
Ended up
Let me
not
go
mattering.
back. Let me go back. Hold on. I just try not to boomer. Okay.
Squeaker. Hey, Squeaker.
Really?
No cowboy. Oh,
Uh,
Squeaker's my kind of
You-
squeaker.
well, Squeak has got it. If you want some good anti-cowboy memes, Squeak is your source there.
Hey, cool.
Hey, Castle. Yeah, I can't believe the Bucks are division winners either. Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
because the South is a garbage division. NFC South,
Yeah.
it's the worst division in football.
Mhm. But Mark, what I read today though is that let me read. There is a potential scenario where there could be a neutral site championship game in.
I think that's
Atlanta.
gone now.
Well, that's still
Okay.
on
I
thought it
saw
was gone.
because of what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw an
thought that
article
was
today.
over.
I'll look it up in a second, but let's jump to something else fun here real quick. All right. Let's get back to this thing.
We're going to talk about each game or what?
We're gonna do the geeks of the game, but I decided to do a little bit of entertaining things throwing in here real quick for everybody.
It's always good to entertain people.
Oh yeah, exactly, and especially Mark on this one. I should just throw in the towel. No, that might get intercepted too.
Oh wow!
But yeah,
of course, he was a superhuman against Tom Brady, though.
That's right.
He was Tom Brady's kryptonite.
He owned him.
Hey, that's all.
Tom Brady.
That's all you got to do is perform in the big games. That's what counts. So
that's right.
So
that's right.
Yeah. All right. So let's look at this week's games. Okay. We'll go down in the order right here. The first game of the week is Saturday at 4:30. Seattle was on the road at San Francisco, 7-2.
I thought Jacksonville and the other one was the first one.
Nope, 8:15. LA and Jacksonville.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
So hey, the Jaguars are special. They get 2 weeks in a row of primetime Saturday night football games.
Okay, doke. So you got Seattle and
San Francisco. Seattle made the playoffs based on Detroit with that dramatic win in Green Bay, knocking out the Packers. So, and then San Francisco, like you said, Clobby, Purdy is the quarterback. The Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Since Garoppolo is still hurt.
Purdy's starting. Nothing question about it.
Yeah.
Garoppolo's is he done for the year, Garoppolo?
In fact, if he came back, he wouldn't get his job back, I don't think.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think they're sticking with the
paying
hot
a lot
hand.
of money.
Yeah,
They
the
are,
article,
but they would stick with Purdy.
Yeah, what I've seen is that Purdy will be the starter in the game. And Squeak is here. It came in and said, "And hello, Miss Daisy Blossom.
Hey there, you got
Hope
ladies
you're
here tonight.
well over where
ladies
you are.
have here.
Well, that man's a good-looking guy.
Yeah,
I'm a good-looking guy, huh? What?
Yeah, we're all good-looking guys.
Oh yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm the dad man, so you got it, you flaunt it.
Daisy's a 49ers fan. There you go. I think they're going to win big this week.
Yeah, even with the backup quarterback. I mean, I've heard good things about the San Francisco
he's doing a good job,
defense,
though. Squeak says, "I'm no lady."
I
thought Squeak was a lady. I didn't know.
No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Okay.
We'll see. San Francisco's 13-4, Seattle 9-8 in the same division. Look at that point differential: 173 points. San Francisco outscores the opponents. They've won 10 in a row. The Seahawks have won 2 in a row. Red hot
right now.
That's the time of, and like we talked about before, this is the time of year to get hot. How you're playing is what really matters. The year the Giants beat New England that year, weren't they? They were a wild card team, right?
They were.
Yeah.
The Giants were that first time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thing was the Giants, I was actually mentioning that to Mike last week or recently. The Patriots were undefeated that year up to that point in the season.
18-0 till the Super Bowl. 18-1.
Yeah. And that year, but the Giants have been on a streak. Like, when the team is improving.
Yes.
And so they were always on the upswing that year. In the last game of the season, the Giants lost to the Patriots, I think by 3 points, but it was such a close game. It's like, the Patriots are blowing people out, and the Giants. That was 2007. So the Giants were just a great team, a great defense, and you could tell, like, as a fan too, you got rose-colored glasses on, but you could tell by the way they're playing that they weren't intimidated by the Patriots. So especially with a great defense that was all over Tom Brady in that Super Bowl. So that was so you kind of knew going into it, like you said, they got hot at the end of the season. Of course, not to say that the Patriots were a great team that year too, but you can kind of tell, like the Lions. I mean, God, what a way to end the season too. On that, what a run they had.
They did.
Especially for the Lions. What were they, 7-9 or something?
They ended up 9-8.
7-9.
A winning record for the Lions, dude. Imagine that.
Yeah.
But they went 7-2 to
So are you seeing any chance the Seahawks pull it off against the Niners this week?
Well, I will say that Geno Smith is having an amazing year for him. That is a very unexpected way he's playing. They certainly are spunky, the Seahawks. At Frisco, I don't see it, but playoffs are weird. It changes everything when you go in there. You do have a young quarterback, like I said, but who's had a few great games and all that stuff. But he could be the X factor, but I don't see it. And it's not impossible. I don't even know what the line is in any of these games, but I would, if we're picking, we're going to pick. I mean, if we're picking, I'm picking.
Go ahead. We'll go ahead and pick.
I'm picking the 49ers on that one.
Yep.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, I agree with that. I could see, though, with Smith, maybe, he could have one of those great days, but
the weather's going to be bad, by the way. Rain.
Well, it's going to be rain, yeah. So I mean, your heart and your brain tells you San Francisco, big win, even with Purdy as quarterback. Like you said, he's played well. So, but Seattle's had some good moments too. So it's not. It could be
doing something. Geno's been good this year.
So
and he saved my fantasy team too. So
there you go.
Lose in the end.
Ash, I've kept the numbers up for you. So looking at the Niners and Seahawks, I know. What are you looking at numbers? You want to take a shot at picking the winner?
Well, the average stats of the 49ers are higher. Like just looking across from left to right. So I'd say the Niners would win against the Seahawks, but it'll be a close game.
Yep, it's the playoffs. See, I this Purdy starting with Seattle, Geno Smith's hot. The fact that the Seahawks are 4-4 on the road, you can't discount them showing up and playing a very good game. Because apparently they've shown that they can win enough on the road. But I agree with you. I would still stick with the Niners in this game. So,
in the playoffs, it's usually kind of, unless you got other factors, and when you're in doubt, kind of go with the home team, because home team field advantage is never more exemplary in the playoffs. It's not everything, but
And just looking at some injury news here, talked about Garoppolo out, a corner is out at practice. So I'm not familiar with a lot of their names on there, but their running back knee is limited. So the Seahawks have a number of injuries too, but looks like nothing notable either team except for Garoppolo.
Yeah, I don't think they can deal with that McCaffrey running game and stuff like that, though. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah,
especially since it's going to be bad weather and they're going to have to run. There's going to be a lot of running.
Exactly. So,
and that's a pretty good story too. If San Francisco
gets
far in the playoffs,
Lord,
and also with Purdy, if he takes a team. That's almost like when the Giants lost Phil Simms and then won the Super Bowl that year with Hostetler as a backup QB. And, that's a pretty amazing story too. So you could, I don't think that'll happen, but, if a lot of teams fall apart when they lose their starting quarterback too. So that's pretty, it's an interesting story, rooting for the underdog there. Yep.
You should. Okay. Well, let's move on to the next game of the week, which will be the Los Angeles Chargers and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah,
So Los Angeles Chargers. Oh, it's just it messes me up all the.
Jacksonville's hosting a playoff game. Yeah,
Jacksonville is hosting a playoff game.
Yeah, Los Angeles Chargers.
The San Diego Chargers.
Well, they were the first year of their existence in 1960. They were the Los Angeles Chargers, but right after that, they moved to San Diego, and they've been in San Diego up until the past few years. And I'll never get used to them being the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah,
it's so ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah, I just forgot to put my banner up. Make sure, folks, we got 8 watching. If you're YouTube, leave a like and sub, and on Twitch, make sure you're following. We'll just keep going away. And yes, I still plan. I got to get plans for the 24-hour stream. I've not forgotten. But on that,
the Chargers pretty banged up.
Let's go look at the.
Did they lose that tight end? I give them having trouble.
Let's look at the. Well, they had a wide receiver that got hurt late.
Mike Williams. Yeah, he got hurt when I think they were all over the coach for playing him when it was a meaningless game.
They played
him.
They played the starters until the late in the third quarter. And Clobby, we talked about that very issue the last couple weeks, and it's all fine and dandy till somebody gets hurt. As the saying goes.
And no, he got all over him. He's just it was kind of silly, and he shouldn't done that. He probably won't be able to play big time. He's a big part of your offense right there. And yet they're still giving up 2 points to Jacksonville in the line right there. It looks like on the road.
Yeah, the Giants didn't start any. They were guaranteed the playoffs, and didn't matter if they won or lost.
Yeah, you don't start any.
They don't start. They didn't even bother starting them.
Yeah. The Jaguars are fairly healthy going into the game. Trevor Lawrence has got a toe, but it's not significant. And when you're probably your long snapper is the guy that's out, you probably are pretty healthy going into a game like this. So it's let me get back to the stats. Looking at it here, we'll get up here to we've got the Jaguars. Jaguars are 9-8. Home 5-3, 4-5 away. 54 point differential. 5 games in a row they've won, including one over the Dallas Cowboys in Jacksonville. The Chargers are 10-7. Again, the division winner, even with a worse record, hosts the first round of playoff games. The Chargers come in losing their last game, only outscoring their opponents by 7 points. So it seems like a pretty evenly matched 4 or 5 game, even though you have one division winner and one wild card.
Every instinct that I have tells me to take the Chargers, even though they're a little banged up, because it's such a wash of a game, only a 2-point spread, and they are on the road. But they have a little bit more, I would have to say, maybe experienced team than that very young Jacksonville team. And yet I'm going to pick the Jags to make something of an upset. The home field energy that they're going to, because the Chargers are like this lifeless husk at this point. They play in the big market. When you share your stadium with another team like they do with the Crams, and I don't respect it. I don't respect them as a home team of anything. They don't have a home. They're like the homeless team because, it's just, whereas the Jacksonville Jaguars have the excitement of, they got, Doug Peterson is the kind of guy that can get a team motivated. They've got, again, I think I really thought I was thinking the Chargers might win, but I'm thinking I'm going to go Jacksonville. I'm going to pick them because I think they're going to pull up enough from within. They were able to get here. No one expected them to be able to get here. They won their division. They've been scrappy the past couple of weeks. They've got that winning streak going. I think they're going to find it within themselves to at least pull this one off. I really do. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers would go in there and beat them. But I'm gonna go on a limb and pick Jacksonville, which usually, because when you're picking these, we got to remember, especially wild card weekend, you should pick almost half away teams. You should not pick all home games.
Yeah.
And I was thinking this would be one of the ones I would not go with the home team, but I got a strange feeling about Jacksonville.
Well, the caution with the Jaguars was last week. They nearly choked again to the Tennessee Titans again.
Right.
The history of that rivalry. It took a last-minute fumble recovery return for a touchdown to win it last week.
Yes.
It was lucky how they exercised the demon in a way, because the whole rivalry between the two cities is like they always made comments about owning Jacksonville and stuff. When Jacksonville was 14-2 under Coughlin many years ago, I was at that home game. Everybody blew off the Titans, and Titans came in here, and that was the week after the Jaguars ended Dan Marino's career, which I got to see, but it was like sad to see. But but the Titans came in and just obliterated the Jaguars.
Wasn't it like 63-7 or something crazy like that?
I think it was like 62-7. Yeah. I mean, it was bad with Marino's last game. But then again, the next week they come in. Everybody's talking Super Bowl in the second year of existence. Or no, it's a few years later. I mixed it up with that's another story. But they did. Those Titans. But everybody thought you had it in the bag. So maybe this team won't think that they have it in the bag this time.
No.
At least
they're not that kind of a team. Those Jaguars were pretty good, and they just got, like you said, they just whooped the team 60-something to nothing. Of course, they were overconfident. This is not that team.
Yeah. Yep. Mark, you got any thoughts? Because
I agree with Jaguars in this game.
What's that, Mark?
Not to take the easy way out, but yeah, kind of agree with Clobby there. You know, I'd say the Chargers probably. Although Jacksonville could surprise us, but I'd go with the Chargers on that one.
Yep. Ash, you got any thoughts? You want to become a Jag fan for a little bit?
No, I was going to go with the LA Chargers because looking at the stats, it looks like it's going to be a very close game. If I had to say, probably within 5 or 10 points of whichever team's going to win, it's going to be 5 or 10 points. But I think it will lean more towards the Chargers' favor. But I mean, based on what you guys have said, it could be anyone's game, really.
And you got two young quarterbacks, Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence.
It's never unwise. You got to go in that first week of that wild card week of the playoffs. You got to pick a couple of away teams because it's never the home team is good in the playoffs, but it's not a sure thing. And there's always a couple of upsets in that first. Or not upsets. This wouldn't be an upset because the Chargers are favored, but this as far as going on the road is always tough to win on the road, but seems to happen a little bit. Anyway, go for the next one.
All right. Well, we're going to move from the Saturday games into the games on Sunday, but before we do, a little more laughter here for our Patriot fans.
There are only 2 games on Saturday? Okay, yeah, that's right. 2 games.
3 on Saturday. All right, 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday.
Gotcha.
What the hell's going out there? Sorry, Bill, the check's bounced.
Are you, sir? What are you implying? What are you trying to say about the Cheatriots? As a buddy of mine who's a Dolphins fan calls them.
Oh gosh, it's so funny. Play Fortnite with somebody that's Carol up there in Boston. It's funny, all the back and forth with all that in between all the different Boston teams and stuff there are. So let's see here. So let's move into the Sunday games. There are three games in the lineup. Thank you. Miami at Buffalo, first game of the day, 1:00 kickoff. Divisional rivals here. Any thoughts about this one? I mean,
is Marino starting? Just kidding.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
It's going to be nasty.
Yeah.
This is going to be ugly, folks, and it's going to get ugly quick because Miami doesn't have a quarterback. They don't even know.
Yep.
Tua's probably not starting, right? They're probably Teddy Bridgewater might not even start.
Actually, I saw today. I saw
Tua's hurt.
Yeah, Tua's concussion protocols
again.
Again,
Bridgewater's hurt too.
So they're preparing. I think there's a different article I saw that Skylar Thompson will be the starter for them, and we can see it here in the injury report.
They're going to get massacred.
And that's not good when you start having concussions like that. The repeated concussions. I mean, we knew he hurt his hip coming out of college, but being susceptible to those concussions to such an extent cannot be good for long-term career. There's our friend Teddy Bridgewater, who's the backup, but he's still limited with a knee and a finger.
Teddy, he's always hurt. He's always hurt, and so I look if they get see that 13-point spread, I would be shocked if the Dolphins get within that 13. I mean, the Bills are real deal. They're probably they're my pick of the AFC. Oh, even more over than the Chiefs, although it could be wrong there. Obviously, I don't see them getting knocked out in that first round for sure. At least getting to the championship game, in my opinion. That's my pick. So yeah, this is going to be a quickie.
Plus all the emotion that everyone has going for Buffalo right now, and they're with what happened, there it's another level too. I think, and I think most people are going to be rooting for him if they're a casual football fan who doesn't have a team, or my wife maybe, or grandma, who's I'm going to root for Buffalo this year, just because of what happened a couple weeks ago. So
let me interject right here real quick, okay, to update a story from earlier. If the Bills and the Chiefs advance to the AFC Championship game, the matchup will be played in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That came out.
That's down your way, Mike.
8 hours ago. What's that?
Where's Mercedes?
Atlanta.
Well, that's Atlanta.
Both the Saints and yeah.
Okay,
so,
not the Superdome.
So
okay.
Buffalo. If it's Buffalo and Cincinnati, Kansas City, it will be at a neutral site this time. So I just wanted to confirm that.
And the home teams would hate that too because of the lost revenue, I guess. So they'd split the.
That's NFL. Oh God.
Well, travel and everything else.
It would probably be sold out, I assume. But your home fans, miss out on that, and all your vendors and your home team. Especially Kansas City has the number one.
Here's the way I look at it: is Buffalo. I mean, I'm at a more temperate climate
Kansas
than you
City's
guys.
getting screwed.
But what about the weather up there?
Yeah.
They lose the home field advantage.
Did Buffalo have a shot at the number one seed, or they had no shot?
Yeah,
at that number
they
one?
did.
They had a shot at it because of that. That's where the game
didn't they beat Kansas City this year?
I don't know the schedule, but I do know
what I do. If they had beaten the Bengals in that game, I think they'd have the number one seed because I think they beat KC this year.
Okay,
could be wrong.
That might be what happened. I checked. Ash, what do you think?
Well, which team did you say that had that player with concussion? Was it
Miami?
Miami.
The Bills.
Yeah. So I'm thinking the Buffaloes are gonna, well, I wouldn't say slaughter, but win very well against the Dolphins. Just based on like the stats and again what you guys have gone through and all the injuries and all the stuff. But to be honest, I kind of want to say the Dolphins because remember I told you about my Patriot story. The high school team their team was called the Dolphins. They had the high school name and there was Dolphins. And the first sort of when I started getting more into football, it was the first game the Patriots game I watched online was a Patriots and Dolphins game. So I'm going to go with Dolphins. Even they'll lose, but I'm going to go with Dolphins.
But if that one miracle happened, you'd have made an amazing pick. But been like, hey, you can say, hey, I knew it, because I guarantee you, everyone's picking the Bills. So you could be that one outlier who goes, hey, look, I called it. It would be the upset of the decade, but
there you go. Well, you hear it first. You know where you heard it.
Now I hope you win. And I got a buddy who's a Dolphins fan. I'll be happy for him if he won.
Absolutely. So okay. So we've taken our Mark. You did pick, didn't you?
Well, yeah, Buffalo. Buffalo's
okay.
But I mean, Miami doesn't have a chance. I watched some of Miami games this year. They were pretty terrible this year. I mean, what they beat the Jets to get in? I mean, come on. So
they did beat the Bills in week 3 or something, but other than that, then they just too many injuries.
They tanked after that. And plus injuries. Yeah, there's
running quarterbacks. These running quarterbacks. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. So there's no way in hell that. Excuse me for the rough language, but no way that if Miami wins, that's going to be a massive massive upset. I mean, especially with all the adrenaline that the Buffalo has. What happened, and they already were a team on a high this year anyway.
Mhm.
They've got a fantastic quarterback, and I mean, they're I would say, they're probably a good chance they make the Super Bowl too. So,
yep.
Yep. Well, let's go to our next game, second of the day on Sunday. Because remember, like you said, Clobby, there used to be 2 games on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and then that first round. And but we'll get to that Monday in just a second. But the New York Giants at the Minnesota Vikings. In a very interesting game here.
Giants.
New York, yeah, that I was thinking just that same
You know why
thing.
they call them the New York Football Giants, right?
Because the old baseball team that was the New York Giants many years ago.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
That's right.
Well done. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well done.
I've studied my sports over the years, so. Well, I tell you, I mean, I'll take the lead on this first one and then let y'all talk a bit after. Is that the Giants are the Vikings? The Giants come in wild card. Vikings division winner. The Giants ran a little bit over 500. Did not outscore their opponents. The Vikings have a 3-point deficit on scoring differential, so it would look statistically somewhat even in that standpoint. But the Giants with a better defense. Daniel Jones has been playing better this year, and like prior years. The Dallas Cowboys routed Minnesota. I believe it was at Minnesota also this year. Those factors and Kirk Cousins as the quarterback, problems protecting him. I'm going with the New York Giants on the road with this one.
Oh, I didn't have to bribe you for that one.
Nope.
Did I?
Nope. No bribes.
No bribes. Yep.
No bribes.
I think this is going to be my upset special road win on the weekend because the Vikings are just playing like poop right now. They're kind of falling apart after starting really, really strong. Kirk Cousins is weird in the playoffs. He's this. I mean, the guy. I don't know. Isn't this a later game too? This is a late game or something.
It's a 4:30 game. It's the middle game. 4:30.
I don't know. I just got this weird feeling that the Vikings are kind of done. They're kind of playing weird. Then again, doesn't mean they're 13-4. So, but there's gonna be. It's the wild card season. I don't think it's way out too much of a stretch for me to pick the Dolphins to pull the upset special. It's far more in reality for the Giants to be the one that does it this weekend. For me, that's just that's the only reason I'm kind of the play wild cards don't get done without at least one, but sometimes it's 2 and even 3 road upsets. And I think this is going to be the one I'm going to go for.
Clobby, when the Dallas Cowboys are one of the homestanding division winners, yeah, you can bet on a road team winning. Sorry.
There you go. Or if they host one later. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, they've done it many years, especially the Packers. So, Mark, your thoughts here?
Well, my very biased opinion, I'm going to agree with Mike again, but the reason the Giants started the season really hot, they were what were they, 6-1 at one point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6-1, 6-2, 7-2, and then they hit the tough part of the schedule. I mean, they beat the Command. Well, one of their disaster games, they tied to the Commanders, but then they beat them. They only lost to the Vikings by 3 points on Christmas Eve. They destroyed the Colts, who aren't that good, and then they lost to Philadelphia. Although the score was 22-16, really wasn't a close game. And of course, the Giants didn't start any of their players that game either. So the first time they played them, the Eagles destroyed them 48-22. But I think the Giants have kind of ended the season on an upswing. You kind of throw out that last game. That last game doesn't count because of the starters. Jones has been playing a lot better. Receivers have been looking a little bit better, and the defense is their strength too. So if they're going to win, it's through defense. I don't think they're going to go past this next round if they win. You never know, but I could see them upsetting the Vikings in this round, and although it's an away game. I think the Giants, and you can't discount they've got probably one of the top 4 running backs in the league, top 5 with Barkley, who seems to be pretty damn healthy now. So if he's healthy, and he can always break one for a TD at any moment. So that's a real powerful player to have. So if you have the right play calling, and Barkley breaks a few, boom, they could be on to the next round when the Eagles they'll probably lose to the Eagles after that. But yeah. So
all right.
Yeah, because how does that work with this bracket? So does the Eagles would play the winner of Minnesota versus the Giants, or who gets that?
No,
How does this
they
work?
get Dallas, Tampa Bay.
Oh, they get Dallas,
Tampa Bay because Dallas. I flip back over here because Dallas, Tampa Bay the winner of Dallas, Tampa Bay would be, in that bracket with the Eagles.
They would get the winner of that game.
I thought they used to reseed them to the lowest seeds, but
that's weird. Why would because you could end up. Oh, because you could end up 3 versus 1, I guess. So
I think it depends on who. See, depends on what the lowest seed that wins of all these games will play Philadelphia. So like if Dallas beats Tampa Bay, but Minnesota, San Fran win, Dallas should be playing Philly.
Oh, they actually. It's actually reseeded. Oh, it's just the. Interesting.
Yeah, there's not a line there connecting it.
That's not my question.
Yeah. So basically, it's still what it used to be. The lowest seed plays the highest seed in each round.
Right.
So if Seattle happens to beat San Francisco, they're playing Philadelphia that game. And
or the Giants beat Minnesota and they're the lowest, then they would play at Philadelphia.
Yeah, and lose.
Yeah. So and lose.
Sorry.
Oh gosh. Hey, nothing like confidence in your team.
Well, realist here.
I know. Ash, you want to take a shot at this one? We got the Giants.
This is going to be purely non-statistical. I'm going Vikings because Vikings are cool.
That works.
That makes sense.
Purely legitimate, right? Yeah.
Purple people eaters.
Old purple people eaters. All right.
Well, I'll tell you, look, there is an old saying, Ash, in football and in sports circles, that stats are for losers. So there you go.
Right?
It's the final score you look at in the end, not the stats.
So does that mean we're all losers because we're looking at the stats?
Yes, that's a bit nice. No, that's what happens that's basically when people try to motivate players. Like, hey man, look at his numbers. Look at all his passing yards he had. But he lost the game, didn't he? Yeah, but he still threw for a lot of yards. And okay, yeah, sure.
Fantasy football, yeah. He won the fantasy football game for me, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think sometimes too, Ash, like Clobby said, the stats don't always mean. Sometimes it's a gut feeling. I mean, Clobby did one earlier with his gut feeling. That national championship game at the college, I didn't go with my gut feeling. That Georgia would dominate. I bought into the TCU stuff. So a lot of times these games come down to
you just never know.
You never know. Yeah, just instinct. I mean, I picked some weird upsets over the years that should not have happened, but just it happened. So and the Vikings are at home too, so it's not a. I mean,
no, that's a good pick, Ash. I mean, the home team is always pretty solid when you're in the playoffs. I mean, not always, but they're a good pick because that's in the end. That's all we're all doing is speculating. So.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me see this then. Last game on Sunday is Baltimore at Cincinnati. This is the game. Had it flipped, had Baltimore won the division, Cincinnati would have been second, the lower seed. This would have been the one determined by coin flip. But it didn't happen. Cincinnati won division. They're hosting the game. So, But listen, we got great wisdom from the snorter Poopaski Burr out there. Statistically speaking, the teams that score the most points will win. You heard it here first.
That's true.
Absolutely.
The only stat that matters is on the scoreboard.
He's not wrong.
That is true, sir. I think tonight if we just get out there and score more points, we might beat this team.
I still love that quote from, and I'll tell this for Ash, and correct me if I got it wrong, slightly wrong, Clobby, though. the old great Jim McKay when the Tampa Bay Bucks started off and they never won a game. It was so bad. And what was it? The question was, how do you feel about your team's execution, or was it the offense's execution?
They're basically your team's execution, because that's always so your execution mean how well they perform, whatever. And he just said, "Yeah, I'm for it."
Yeah.
They called him the Quipper. The old the Gipper, but they called McKay the Quipper because he had all these quips. He says one time in an interview, he said, "Well, we didn't really tackle anybody, but we made up for it by not blocking anybody either."
Great coaches. Let me say goodbye to Daisy Blossom. Thank you for coming in.
Goodbye, Daisy.
Yeah, great having you,
Daisy.
So, all right. So it's Cincinnati, Baltimore. You see them AFC North rematch. The Bengals, 1-2.5 games ahead. 6-1 at home. Baltimore's 5-3 on the road. This is a game. The Bengals, though, 8 wins in a row. The Baltimore Ravens with 2 losses in a row, but they've also been without. We got to look at the injury
Lamar
report on this one.
Out, isn't
Lamar Jackson is still not practicing.
Oh boy!
So he had a knee injury in week 13. So it's and even the backup quarterback looks injured. Cincinnati looks pretty healthy going into the game. So just looking at it from an injury standpoint there. I'm not really familiar with the Bengals or the Ravens. We do know a friend that loves the Bengals, and they love the Houday. Clobby, what do you think with this one?
I don't see the Ravens putting up much of a shot. Fight here. It's at Bengals are at home. They got to the Super Bowl last year in an impressive fashion, since last year their offensive line could not protect Joe Burrow. And when your offensive line plays that pathetically and you still get to the Super Bowl, that says something about your quarterback and your defense and things like that. And they've improved since then. I'm not saying they're the best team in the AFC, but they're a team that I could see beating either KC or the Buffalo. They're right up. They're close to that level. Whereas then the Ravens are not, and their only weapon, their biggest weapon, the only thing that ever gives them a shot in a lot of these games is Lamar Jackson, and he's iffy. I don't think he's going to play. I mean, even if he plays, he's got a bad knee.
Yeah.
So I don't think they have, because he's really their only shot in the game on the road. Another running quarterback. This is the time of year when you're running. You're run for. When I say running, I mean run first quarterbacks, not guys who can run. Guys who are all about the run. Not that he's not a good passer. He is. He's a real good quarterback. But when you do too much running at this time of the season, that's where you are, on the bench or on the injury list all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like Jalen Hurts or whatever. So he's in trouble. And if he doesn't play, Baltimore has no shot. So I'm gonna go with Bengals big on this one.
Ash, you want to go early this time?
Sure. It's going to be Bengals. I'm pretty. They just seem like a stronger team, and again, home game for them. And yeah.
Okay.
About it.
Mark.
Yeah. I think that it's going to be Bengals here. I think you got Burrow and Baltimore's banged up, so traditionally Baltimore's always had a good defense, but I go with the Bungles. Bengals. Affectionately called the Bungles, and
the Bengals,
who lost to San Francisco in that Super Bowl. Oh, that was a tough loss for them.
With 2 Super Bowls,
two losses, right? Yeah, with the
but they were
Joe
so
Montana.
Bad. They were so bad they got the name Bungles.
Bungles. Yeah.
It was hilarious to see.
For the longest time, they were the worst team for decades. Like the most. Yeah.
And my mom, we were watching the Super Bowl, and she said, Bengals and Boomer Esiason, the great announcers, was the left-handed quarterback for the Bungles. And my mom was like,
Bungles.
"Why is Barry Manilow playing football?" Like, that's not Barry Manilow.
Boomer was Barry Manilow?
Yeah, she's like,
wow.
He kind of looks. She thought, not Boomer, not Boomer.
Not Boomer.
Yeah, what's his name from the Niners? Oh God, quarterback from the Niners, Montana. Yeah, she thought it was Barry
Montana.
Montana. Yeah.
Wow, never thought of that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to go with the Bengals too. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bengals. I think they're on a hot streak. Everything points in their
I
direction.
can't believe it. I can't believe it. Oh, Bengals.
It's
Sorry
crazy.
to interrupt, but it's just it's just crazy, right? I mean, it's just.
So is it now we start the
Of
Who
all
Day
teams.
songs?
Yeah.
No, sir. The Who Day is Pew Day. Puke Day. They stole that. Buttholes. I hate them. And then I got to put up with them now down here. Now they're the Baton Rouge Bengals.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Yeah, you're not.
I like
used
Joe
to
Burrow.
Florida.
I like Joe Burrow. I
Yeah.
root for him. I'll definitely hope he does well. I really thought it was a damn shame they didn't quite pull up that Super Bowl last year. They almost had it, and it's a shame,
Well,
Yeah.
we'll move to the last game of the evening. But first, let's do one more little funny thing for this. After reviewing the play, whatever goes against the Saints stands.
Thank you. Yeah. Especially since I'm a ref from the Rams. I'm from LA. No, I mean, I'm not biased at all. No. Yeah, pretty much, dude. That's the way it goes for us, especially,
Hey, let's say hi to Brian Hepburn. Hey,
Brian.
welcome in.
Y'all got that from the Junkyard Dog. You mean the wrestler? The Junkyard Dog.
Hey, all right.
Batman and old King Kong, meaner than the Junkyard Dog.
Absolutely. And the Georgia Bulldogs were always called, the Junkyard Dogs
Junkyard Dog.
back way then. So, all right, folks, guys, with that little funny out of the way, we now hit our last game of the week. And which, Clobby, I don't know. I don't like this because I think this is part a money grab thing because of the scheduling, because wildcard weekend used to be over on Sunday. That's it. But now, guess what? We get a Monday night game too.
Weird.
Yeah, because you got that other game. You got that other game because that other seed put in there. And it's the Dallas Cowboys at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Strange.
Monday Night Football for the playoffs? Wow.
Yeah.
Is that the first time ever, right?
That would be
I don't know. I mean, it could be. I don't know if
it,
they've done
it is.
last year.
It's the first time ever. No,
So
sir.
this is my first time back into pro football.
Isn't this the first year of the 17-game schedule? Or was that last year?
Yeah. First
Last
year.
year was the first. Last
the
year
first
was
year, but so there
last
you
year
go.
was
Then,
the
yes,
first year. Yeah.
Let's see up the schedule. There you go. Yes, sir. So
Yep.
the Dallas Cowgirls, the Tampa.
I was going to say that, but you beat me to
I almost said
it,
my
Bobby.
name for Tampa. That would have got me in trouble. What I call Tampa, I can't say on YouTube.
Don't say no. Don't get that man in trouble.
Ooh, boy,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
said
like-
it too. Ooh, have it.
But we can blame Ash still since he's here.
Well, that's true. Thank you, Ash.
Yeah.
I'm still not going to say it though.
All right. So we got the division winning Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting with an 8-9 record the Cowboys who were 12-5. We talked about this scenario last week, Clobby, but it still defers to somebody that actually won a division, something that mattered. So, but looking between the two teams, I mean, the Cowboys are great at home, but they're about very average on the road. The Bucs are average in both. So the Bucs come in losing one in a row. The Cowboys lost last game, but it was kind of a meaningless game. Looking at this point differentials, the Cowboys have outscored opponents 125 points. The Bucs are deficit 45. I think a few years ago, these two teams met again before in the playoffs at Tampa Bay in a similar situation, and the Bucs came away with a win. So how do y'all see this game playing out, Mark?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, especially God, I guess what would I go with on that one? I can't root for the Cowboys. I mean, just can't do it, but I can't root for Tom Brady either. So I'm like really up in the I mean, what do I do here?
Ask Ash
to
to roll his dice real quickly for you.
just pick who you think's going to win, whether you like him or not. Though, just do it that way.
All right, I know.
Well, hey, listen, Mark.
All right,
Mark.
Yep.
You might want to get Ash to it because Ash beat me in the week he came on by rolling dice. So
Yeah.
I think
Well, we're gonna have
think
to roll a lot of
I
dice.
like
if I do
I'm
that
gonna roll
again.
a lot of die on this one. Yeah, I don't know. Tampa Bay has looked amazing in some quarters or halves of football and then self-destructed, just like the Cowboys have been up and down this season. But God, I'll go with I'll go. Oh, kill me! I'm going to go with Tampa Bay in this one, but I think that shows how tight this game could be if Tampa plays up to their potential. It wouldn't be that much of an upset. Of course, they're seeded 4, but don't they have a losing record? Tampa
8-9, yep.
8-9,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and the 4, and they're the 4 seed, right? So I'm gonna go with Tampa. Oh God.
Okay. Ash, how do you see this?
Well, it's a tough one because, like, I've been to Tampa before, and Dallas is cool and Cowboys are cool, but I'm gonna say the Buccaneers because Tom Brady, let's go.
There you go.
See, Ash did a lot quicker. Yeah.
Bobby?
I'm gonna root for the Cowboys, but you don't
Yeehaw.
bet against Tom Brady in playoff games. You don't bet against Tom Brady in playoff games. He's such an evil. He's so sinister. I think he's gonna find a way to win this one, and yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Bucks as for my other upset. Yeah.
So you
There
are
we
going
go.
with the Bucks, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey.
I
Oh,
hate to
well,
say it.
I think you threw us off.
Tom
Well,
Brady,
what
let's
happened?
go.
Everybody knows I'm a Cowboy fan. Probably even
Yep.
more than as a Jaguar fan, honestly, because it goes back to the 70s. Roger Staubach, all those great guys, the Super Bowls, just what a great thing. A great quarterback like Roger Staubach forever, and that's what you could count on. Everything statistically says Cowboys. I mean, the offense, the defensive numbers, and all this stuff. Oh, there was a relief out there for you, Clobby. So that you didn't take the Cowboys. So here we go. I'm going everything I want to take the Cowboys. I'm going to cheer for the Cowboys. I want the Cowboys to win, But this meme says it all right here. I think the Buccaneers will win. I think Dak Prescott will keep turning the ball over, and that will be the difference to keep Tampa Bay in the game for them to win at home.
Ouch.
I hope I'm wrong, but
Oh boy. Yeah. Look, I can believe though. I could absolutely the way the Bucks have played this year. I could certainly I could see Dallas should beat them. They're a better team. The Bucks have problems. Brady is not what he once was. Although when he gets to playoffs, he becomes a different person. They all of a sudden there's because those receivers dropped a lot of passes on him. But I saw him make some really bad decisions this year too. I can't stand him. But you don't really bet against them in playoffs. So I can certainly believe, Dallas going in there, they should beat them. They should with what they've got compared to what the Bucks have this year.
Right.
But it's always you just don't underestimate Brady in the playoffs.
That says a lot. I mean, look at some of those great Steelers teams of the 70s. They got in the playoffs. Bradshaw didn't necessarily have the best quarterbacking numbers,
he
but
never had great numbers. Yeah.
But in the playoffs, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the 70s. I mean, they beat so many better Cowboy teams, but hey,
they did. They did. They had that defense, that helps.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So with that, I believe we've covered all the games that we have this week. Yay!
Wow.
So
we got to track those and see how we turn out, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, this is appropriate. I forgot about the injury report, but this is what came down. Cowboys 2.5 analysis TBA, so they didn't even finish the analysis today. So
Ouch.
But hey,
Wow.
yeah, I think that's everything we got tonight. So folks, let's see what happens. We'll talk again next week and see what happens, see what craziness can happen this week, and maybe the Jaguars will win a game miraculously, and maybe the Cowboys will advance for once. So, Mark,
Well, that's
you
what
got
makes the
your
playoffs.
team.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to say. That's what makes the playoffs so much fun too, right? Because you never know what the heck can happen. I mean, a couple of we're talking about that Leon Lett play before. I mean, it wasn't the playoffs, but in football, anything can. Any given Sunday, something crazy could happen. A couple of turnovers here or there, and a team can get hot all of a sudden, or momentum goes against them, and boom, you're all of a sudden you're out of it, and you can't believe it, and you can have a big upset. But that's what makes the playoffs so much fun. Plus, then you get to make all the good food and pig out during the game. So get your nachos and cheese and pigs in the blanket ready for the weekend.
I forgot the other thing there's another thing you don't underestimate in this game. You don't underestimate Brady, but you don't underestimate the Cowboys to choke on the playoff game. In a playoff game. So,
Last Castles.
What was the Cowboys' last Super Bowl win?
The Dallas Choke Boys.
Was it with Aikman? When was the last time the Cowboys?
Aikman, but Barry Switzer was the coach. It's like
but that wasn't Switzer's team.
Actually, I think the thing was Neil O'Donnell helped the Cowboys a lot too.
Neil O'Donnell gave them a Super Bowl. He said, "Hey, Larry Brown, catch this, and then catch this." Unbelievable. I used to got to that game. I had a buddy of mine. We were joking around saying, he did. Both of them did, actually. But we were saying stuff like, I bet his family's like being held hostage, and he has to throw the game or they're going to be killed. Because that was the worst play in a Super Bowl twice, 2 interceptions. I mean, look, if you watch the field where he throws that ball to Larry Brown, there's nobody even close to Larry Brown, not one Steeler, and in a mile of him.
It shows like the guy
you threw it right to him, man.
Yeah, Clobby saying is there was nobody within 20 yards of the Cowboy defender. He's standing in the back. That's how bad the guy threw the ball.
Oh my God.
And he ran him in for 2 touchdowns and became MVP.
Yep.
And the Steelers, I thought, were going to beat him in that game until that happened.
I know. I thought it too. It's like,
was it Bill Cowher did an onside kick or something and did some crazy stuff in that game? Anyway. Yep. 95. That was the 95 Super Bowl. Well,
I know.
95 season. He was played in 96. Yeah.
I love this. Thank you. Thank you. At least they're not the Deflatriots.
Deflatriots.
There's some love in there.
I've heard Cheatriots, and now I'm hearing Deflatriots. There you go.
Ooh. There you go. You got a new word to call it, Clobby. But guys, y'all have any last thoughts? And let me let you talk because I appreciate you being here. It's been great to have you here hanging out with us. I just again talk about what you're up to and just if you got any other thoughts about football and just let us know a little bit more about what you're up to right now.
Well, apart from university, I'm not really up to much. I've been like watching through some anime, playing Elden Ring. But other than that, I'm going to see if I can try and actually be able to watch some of these games. If I can get to the NFL pass or whatever it is, I'll have to look into it. Awesome. See if I can catch some of these games and check them out. And I feel like with sports, I just need to watch more of it so I can understand it better, especially with American football, because I understand the absolute basics. I mean, I know what a first down is, but and a touchdown, but apart from that, that's about it. So it's just one of those things where I just need to watch more sports in general. Not too much of a sports person.
How can you watch? Is NFL on across the pond at all, or is it you have to?
Yeah, how do you get it? They just show it on regular TV over there.
I guess I'm not too sure. I did have a quick Google search. And there's the NFL Game Pass, so I think it's an online subscription thing where you can just watch all the games.
But it's not on
it's
free
online.
TV though, right? Yeah, it's not on free TV where you can
I think the Super Bowl might be, but I'm not sure. But the rest of the games, I know definitely aren't. I think if you have a sports channel package, some of the games might be on one of those channels. But I don't really watch TV these days. It's usually just streaming services or YouTube. Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah.
Well, if you do get it, if you ever want to watch a game, let me know. We can always throw a StreamYard up and chat while it's going on. I want to
Oh,
watch
yeah.
rugby, by the way.
Rugby's. I'd say rugby compared to American football, it's like I don't know because there's less padding in rugby. So I'd say like it's more brutal. But on the flip side, it's like there's so much padding on American football players. It's like okay, I'm padded up. I can charge head first at another player full speed. So you have like these crazy ass collisions in American football. And then with rugby, it's just like okay, oh, you cut your leg, it doesn't matter, duct tape your leg back in the game. Um, like literally, I've seen like there's they literally duct taped a player a back up and put him back on the field.
Sounds like
We
hockey.
saw that once. They wrapped the guy's head. They wrapped the guy's
Oh,
head.
it was
with
the
duct
head.
tape.
That's it. Yes, the
Yeah,
head.
the head was bloody. I mean, it was just blood running, and they just duct taped that thing and put him back out there.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
not soccer. So
No. Honestly, injuries like and stuff like that with regular football. It's sometimes kind of a joke because you got like players like there's some players that like don't even get touched, and then they roll around cradling their leg on the floor, like, oh my god, what's going on? Like, oh, he hit me. Oh, I'm in so much pain. And then all of a sudden, like 5 seconds later, they're standing up as if nothing ever happened.
yeah,
And then like you see like compilations. Can you compare those to like MotoGP drivers? And they have like full blown crashes. They hit like a barrier, like oh god knows, 100 mile an hour, or like crash on the course, and they spin like 20 times, and they get back up and like, I'm all right.
Yeah.
So it's just like every sport has its jugs, and every sport has its good moments. So yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Mark,
it'd be
Clobby,
fun
any
to.
other final thoughts?
Well, I just want to say, Ashley, let us know how you watch it, and if you do
yeah.
watch it, and go Giants.
Or just so Squeakers in the chat
Go
will say go
Giants.
Cowboys.
Well, I'm going to say Cowboys. Go Cowboys. You know that.
Yeehaw! Let's go.
Go Cowboys. Gotta root for the old man to win.
Yeah.
All right, Clobby?
I don't
Any
know.
other
I don't even have
thoughts?
it. I guess I was. You all have told me who you're all rooting for. I guess it's funny. Just when you watch playoffs, it's good to have a team to root for just the hell of it. And so I would ask in there, who would you like to see win it? And if anybody, and maybe you don't have anybody you care about, but do you have anybody you would like latch on? Because that's what we used to do when we were kids. When our team would be out of it, and we still love to watch the playoffs. You know, we'd say, I'd like to see so and so get it. You kind of. It's not like we became a big fan of them, but we go, I'm rooting for them when I'm watching, just to be able to root for somebody. Anybody like that or no? So you don't have anybody that you would do that for, Ash?
Oh yeah, sometimes, yeah. Like it's like sometimes if like a game of anything is on, like I'll just put it on. I'll be like, oh, it'd be cool if this team wins. And then you start watching it, and then they score a goal, and you like get really into it. You're like, yeah, come on, let's go.
Well, I'm gonna do that this year. First of all, since Mark is my friend, I'm gonna hope for his Giants. But if that doesn't work out, I would like to see the Jags move on and to win and do better. But as far as realistically speaking, the teams that have the best chances are the ones. I mean, the best chances are Eagles. I'm not too thrilled about right now because they don't have, as far as chances, because they don't have a quarterback. So KC is probably the strongest team with Bills right there, and then even the Bengals coming up to them because of Joe Burrow. The Baton Rouge Bengals, I'd kind of like to see him do it, but this part of me that would kind of like to see the Bills do it all.
Yeah.
Even though I got a good friend of mine who's a Dolphins fan, and he calls them the filth-infested Bills because he got that from me. I would love to see his Viking, for his sake, I'd like to see the Dolphins win, but I kind of like to see the Bills get one. How crazy would it be if the Bills and the Vikings played in the Super Bowl, the two teams that both lost 4 Super Bowls and never won one? Each fan base would be assured to get a Super Bowl for a change.
Well, the Bills don't want to see the Giants.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They don't want the Giants in there.
Wide left.
have that whole
Wide
New
right.
York- Yeah.
And look
It
at
was
the
a little wide right
and
action.
Buffalo too. What an accomplishment! I mean, we make fun of them now, but to get in the Super Bowl 4 years in a row, and then
To lose it 4 years in a row, to lose four in a row.
4 years in a row.
That's why I say I would not mind seeing the Buffalo people get one. Because not only that, dude, until about a year or two ago, it was the first time they'd gotten back to a Super Bowl in 20-something years. I mean, not a Super Bowl. I mean, a playoff game. They didn't even play in a playoff game for 20-something years. So
what has any team 4 Super Bowls in a row besides the Bills?
No, no team has been to 4 Super Bowls in a row other than the Bills. And to lose all 4 in a row, no. At least the Vikings took Super Bowls off before they went back to lose again the 4 times they lost. So, but both those fan bases have suffered a lot. I mean, at least even my lousy team got one. So,
and isn't Jim Kelly sick? Did he? I don't know.
He's in a pretty bad way, but he's still with us.
He's still with us. God bless him. All right,
I wouldn't mind seeing the Bills get it, but I like the Chiefs. They're spunky. I wouldn't mind seeing them again, and I wouldn't mind seeing Joe Burrow. So there's some of the teams I wouldn't. Those are the teams with the more realistic chances. Like I said, the Giants or somebody like that, or even your Jags, it would be kind of cool. It's good. I don't have any teams I hate but the Bucks. Sorry, in there. So, but Squeaker, the reason why I hate the Bucks is because they're in our division. So, if you're in the same division, you're supposed to hate the teams in your division. That's the way it works.
No, but you hate Atlanta more than you hate Tampa Bay, though.
I hate Atlanta. When I up until in the 50 years that I was a NFL fanatic until I kind of dropped out 2 years ago. My biggest hatred in the world was the Atlanta Falcons. If you just say, look, your team's going to be garbage forever, but you get to win 2 games by slaughter twice a year, and that's all you're ever going to get, I would want to slaughter the Falcons both times. We have a saying down here, and it's F the Falcons. Yes, I hate them, and I hate other teams. Some of the teams I can't stand, but it's the filth-infested Falcons that are the dirty birds. You know the weirdest part about that, Dad, man?
What's that?
Is Saints and Falcons fans have a wonderful relationship. But when we go to home games, we get along and have good-natured ribbon, and we're very good to each other and friendly. And yet, man, oh man, are we mean to each other? As far as we hate, they hate us. We hate them. It is on a level with Giants Eagles rivalry, except those are big markets, so ours doesn't get noticed, but like those do. So yeah. Anyway,
there's some very spirited rivalries out there.
That's another big show. We should do one day about the rivalries. But anyway, sorry.
College pro. Hey, no, I'm always for good ideas and stuff, and bring more. Come back together again.
Wow, I'd rather root for the Falcons than the Cow Babies.
Awesome.
I love Squeaker.
Yeah.
Well, now Cowboys is like my joint third favorite team.
No.
Just because of that.
Hey, where do you think? Hey, Clobby, where do you think my source is for getting these anti-cowboy memes?
I wonder. That might be.
Okay, you do that. I'll find pro cowboy memes.
I don't think you're gonna find it.
See, that's the type of fan I am. I like to pick on my teams. For so long, I listened to the Jags post-game shows just to hear the drunk callers yell and scream because the team was so bad for years. Just listen to the crazy Pete Banaszak, old Raider legend, used to be here,
Raider player,
and he was here doing their post-game show. It was so bad one year. He's like, "Go have another beer, you drunk." But it's all the time. But I will tell you, it is good to see this team, and I hope the Jags do something this year because it's almost like comparable to Tennessee Volunteers on the college level, where there's been snake bit, everything goes down, it goes horrible. They were in the dumpster last year after bringing Urban Meyer in. Now they got a coach who got hot. They're in the playoffs. They won a division. That's a lot to be said. The team has suffered for a long time. They deserve some success. And what has happened is the league has put the city, not just the team, but the city itself down because the team's been so bad. And you know what? It'd be nice to see, a little bit of a small market revenge. Green Bay is a small market. They get the revenge when they win it, but they've had a history. But these teams like the Jaguars just, it's frustrating. You don't get Oh gosh, growing up in Dallas Fort Worth, you bleed cowboy blue until you get a chance to the real football.
Ouch.
Ouch. That's awesome. But hey, but yeah, and my Cowboys, I'll still stick with them no matter what. Hope they win. And I think actually the Cowboys could advance if they just protect the ball and they play consistent offense. Usually it's the offense turnovers. The quarterback melts.
They should win. They had no business losing that game.
Yeah.
They've got a better team, but never underestimate their ability to screw it up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They should win that game. I won't be surprised if they do.
They should.
But the way they've been in the playoffs, as far as I'm concerned, as long as Jerry Jones is calling the shots of that team, you're never going to win anything of significance.
I agree, and
it's been a while. Yeah,
it's been a while. So,
what they did to Landry too. I mean,
yeah, that was an all-time low too. I mean, Clobby and I talked about that before. Even as a Cowboy fan, you knew time was winding down, but it was just the way it was done. I mean, it was done so corporate America type. He buys a team, clears house. That happens in business. It happens, but this was different because it was a beloved team, and to treat it like cold, hard business, left a lot of, bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Sure, they got Jimmy in for a bit and won a couple titles quickly, but it's been going on almost, let's see, God, is it almost 30 years of futility? Wow. But hey.
It's been a while.
Right. Yes, it has been. Well, gents, thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you to everybody in the chat for being here. We had some wonderful discussions, a lot of comedy. Hope you like the memes and things that are. If you're on Twitch, follow us there. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the videos. Oh, by the way, Clobby, Mark, did you? I'm going to pitch your channel tonight on Clobber's Times channel. Let me see. It's Clobber in Times as it's spelled there. They have the clubhouse tonight. Mark, Clobby, and Raquel are out there. It's a fun show. You drop by and give them a view and chance. And if you like Star Trek, there's no better channel anywhere around than Clobber in Times channel for Star Trek.
So that will be my 500th YouTube show.
Whoa!
And show number 1200 overall. 1200 overall.
Absolutely. But a big congratulations to you for that, Clobby.
Thanks.
And thank you for being a great channel, friend of my channel, Mark, you too. Ash, definitely you too.
Yep.
Ash, definitely the offer's open to watch some football with you if you make it work on your side and you have time. So with that, I'm just going to say a few of my closings real quick, which is follow me on Twitter to get the latest of what's going on. Dadman Walking 55. You'll find us here on YouTube at Dadman Walking 55 and twitch.tv at Dadman Walking 55. So we try to make it easier for everybody. But tomorrow night is a special event that is only on YouTube because when I game, I can only do one or the other, and it will be on the YouTube side tomorrow night. So even if you have Twitch, come join us over on the YouTube side because tomorrow night marks the Mrs. and my 27th anniversary to the day.
Hey,
wow.
And we are going to do just a Fortnite stream and hope people drop by, say hi, and maybe we'll tell some stories. We'll just chat away and have some fun with friends. And, 27 years. And it's actually been 28 years to the day we met.
Wow.
Also. Wow. So
that's
I wish.
4 touchdowns and 4 extra points.
Exactly. Well, I noticed somebody in Twitch earlier was my nephew, but he's gone now. I was hoping he'd stay around because that's a heck of a story. I'll have to probably maybe tell some of it tomorrow night, because it was amazing how coincidences do. And, it's so funny how 28 years go by. Yeah, Snorter Poopus, we'll do some bushwhacking, okay? But yes, and Jess, thank you for the links out there. And I want to do something real quick though, if you give me a second, Clobby, because I wanted to do for you. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to. This is what happens when I boomer a little bit. But honestly, folks, we'd love to have y'all with us tomorrow night because it's going to be a real special time. And the missus made this graphic herself with herself. And those are banana. And Mark, I know you play a lot of Fortnite, but those are actual banana plant boutonniere and bouquet.
Mrs. doesn't mess around. That's why you got to pay her extra. She gets everything accurate there, right?
I can't afford her, That's what we always say. So it's always a thing. I'm gonna put Clobby's thing. Mark, you're also a mod. If you wanted to put your link out there, go ahead.
Oh yeah, we'll put the show on tonight out. Yep.
Absolutely.
Let me grab that.
So,
yep. I got the.
Well, yay.
Oh, there you go. You got it. Yep.
Okay. Well, that's
Clobby.
Yeah.
I'll put mine in too, I guess. Yep. Everyone here.
Go ahead. Put your in. And Jess also put out the Dadman Fervently emotes, which is over on Mark's channel. One of Clobby's favorite clips.
Didn't I send that to you so you could play that? I thought I had.
I thought you did. Do you have it at the ready, Mark?
I can get it at the ready. Let's see here.
Go ahead. But join us tomorrow night, folks.
Find it. Yep.
We'll go ahead. If you have not seen this classic clip of Dadman in action at Fortnite at like 2:00 in the morning or something.
Yeah, it was pretty late. Yep.
SPD, one of the favorite clips. Ash, have you seen what we're talking about yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay, just checking. I mean, it's so good. Clobby even plays it, and that was a shock.
Let me put it on. Let me see if I got the audio here. It's coming here. It's coming, Con. Just hold on.
I know.
We do full screen.
Nothing like pressure.
When I got to present now.
Yep, present it, and I'll pick it up. I guess I need to stop sharing that.
That's a small clip. I don't know why it's a small one, but it's the first one I found. There we go.
Okay.
God damn it, Mark. Jeez.
I'm never that way.
God damn it, Mark. Jeez.
Wow. Wow.
I have it on loop on my end. It keeps looping and looping. And then we had the new one too, right? Where'd they go? You want to play that one?
Sure, if you got. Yeah, we'll go ahead real quick.
Yeah, let's see. We'll do the longer one. Let's see which is the.
Ash, one of my things against the hammers. I hate the hammers.
Well, the back.
This was almost as good as the other one.
All right, here we go.
It's up to you, Dad, man.
I just run, dude.
Where'd they go?
Right there.
Oh, screw you.
Where'd they go?
I'm going to report that friggin' mother humper.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's up to you, Dad.
That was another classic moment. So Mark's always there to keep everything on video. So anyway, we've gone way longer than I planned tonight. Guys, it's been fun. It's been a blast. Clobby, congratulations on your 500th show coming up. And Mark, always great to hang with you. Ash, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with these guys. I know it's kind of like a reunion for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's great to hear you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too.
All right. So
stop playing Saturday Night Star Trek one time for an Esh pick. Everyone wants another Esh pick.
I told Esh that y'all called them Esh picks.
Yeah.
He knows us.
Yeah. They're up to 8 parts now or 10 parts or something.
Oh, they try to hit us with 10 parts. I've had to put my foot down on them. Actually, I've had to start telling you guys got to keep these things down to 6 and 7, and they're going to 10 and 11, and
oh my god,
yeah. And there's like way more people back than when you were doing that. So many more people now. I mean, we'll get about 40 or so reviews and multiple. That's crazy, man. But yeah,
jeez.
We miss you, buddy.
That's awesome.
I got to get off of this.
I know you do. You got to broadcast. Guys, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody that's been here. Y'all have a great night, and see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for our anniversary fortnight. Bye, guys.
Night,
Take care, everyone.